small, noticeable to us. It's like they're growing in pitches there with it. So it's like we have this room, just so just start pressure. Put pressure on it.
Yeah.
All of the feeling.
What happened to you?
All of the ability to left side. Over the have a stroke or something. It looked a lot like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that.
You tell her starting
Because it was here.
spinal cord.
So of course it was contact. He was having a little like, you know, like he felt his sleeve, felt a little
Now will they just I've been for 5 years. More than that. So this, doing that little cutout. I wish I had to do the passenger side too.
Okay.
The sand is smaller, so it doesn't stand for here or have other adult wheels. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, this is the time of year you want to do that stuff because it's downtime. Well, we got a warrant now. Yeah, okay.
We got some basketball practice.
Sometimes rent it, that rust will come back through. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Got some stuff.
Yeah, yeah, we got a lot of preliminary that we, so I'd like it, sir.
Call the meeting to order at 6:40. Roll call.
Balmer, Lower, Munson,
Here.
Nelson,
Here.
Frank,
Here.
Yates,
Here.
It's like a allegiance,
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You got a new guy in there, so.
Yeah.
Well, I'll try, so
Right.
just keep going.
Yep.
I don't have the-
Oh.
whoever's-
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'll go get it for you.
I got you. Chelsea? Yeah, yep, you're the only one on there, it looks like. I'm not gonna time you or anything, if there's only one, you're supposed to have 5 minutes and, you know, you're.
All right. Good evening. My name is Chelsea Kozlowski, and I'm here tonight as both an employee of the district and a parent. I'm speaking because I'm deeply concerned and honestly heartbroken about the employee cuts being proposed and what they will mean for staff and students. These cuts directly affect the people who support our most vulnerable students every single day. As staff, we are in the classrooms and hallways, helping children feel safe enough to learn, stepping in in during crisis moments and making school accessible for the students who cannot succeed without support. As a paraprofessional and as a mother of a son with special needs, I see this from both sides. Under Illinois special education law, students with disabilities are entitled to a free, appropriate public education in the least restrictive environment. And many students can only access that education because staff are there implementing their IEPs. And in Illinois, IEPs are legally binding. They are not suggestions. When paraprofessional support written into IEPs is cut, staff are placed in an impossible position, expected to meet legal requirements without the staffing needed to do so. And as a parent, I need you, all of you, to understand this. Until you are the one fighting for your child's services, many people don't realize how serious this is. Too often, concerns about IEPs not being followed get minimized and swept under the rug. But that is not acceptable. Because for families, this is not just paperwork. It's their child's education, safety, and future. So my question is for you, with these proposed cuts, how do you expect staff to remain compliant with the law while still meeting needs safely? And this, it's not just affecting special education. So say if kindergarten paraprofessionals are cut, teachers and students lose critical daily support, and students in one of the most important years of development. I work in kindergarten right now, so I can vouch for this. That stress affects the teacher, the classroom environment, and learning for every student. Paraprofessionals are the glue that holds our schools together, yet many of us remain at the bottom of the pay scale. And we still show up every single day. When decisions like this are made, it can be easy to look at the numbers, but I also need you to remember we are more than just a spreadsheet. And I want to say this respectfully, but honestly. As board members, you should be seen in our schools. And I've seen at least two of you at Apollo volunteering before. So I want to ask you plainly, have you lived the job that I live and many of my coworkers live? If you haven't been the one breaking up a crisis, keeping children safe, and trying to help learning happen every day, then I don't understand how you can cut it. You are cutting support from children and teachers who depend on it. And I want to end with this. I would like to sincerely invite each and every board member to Apollo, and I'm sure each of the other building principals would love to have you come to their buildings. Come see it. Come see what we do. Come see what we deal with every day. Not on paper, but in real life. Come watch the moment a child melts down and a paraprofessional keeps them safe. Come watch a child who struggles to communicate finally feels understood because someone stayed patient. And that's hard to do sometimes. Come watch support staff do more than their job title, quietly and faithfully, because we love the kids. Because our children deserve more than survival at school. They deserve support. They deserve dignity. They deserve a district that truly means it when we say all children. And if you cut paraprofessionals, then you're not just choosing savings, you're choosing which children you will fail. Thank you.
Any board comment? Vote squad. Well, Mr. Fresco, the students here today, make the presentation.
work day that I was at my computer reflecting on the students that had come to me concerned about other students, and then students that had come to me bringing a student that they were concerned about. And I thought, well, what are we doing for those students who are helping other students? How are we equipping them? How are we empowering them? And then I began to think, well, what about those students in need? It's a really big step asking them to come and ask for help. And what are we doing for that too? And so I began to think at the junior high, how could we be proactive? And that's when I came across the program Hope Squad. And so in 2022, the Mercer County Junior High established Hope Squad, and it consists of an average of 24 students that are nominated by their peers, and the students nominate them based upon that they trust them, they talk to them, they are like confidential, they feel like they can trust them, and then that averages out to be about 8 per grade level, and then that way, what we do is, and they're going to share a little more about it. The staff of Mercer County Junior High Hope Squad is 3 advisors. Mr. Carresco, 7th grade teacher, Mrs. Ulrich, 6th grade teacher, Mr. Tim Seedam, the principal. We have an activity assistant, Cody Ruggles, and then we have work with the community, Megan Bull, for the mental health action program. And right now, I would like for Mr. Carresco, one of the advisors, to share for a little bit.
Thank you. Mrs. Boswell came to me about being an advisor when she came up with the idea of starting the Hope Squad program, and informed me about it. And the main focus of Hope Squad was suicide prevention, and that's a heavy subject. And I was admittedly hesitant when she came to me. I didn't feel I was personally qualified to handle something like that. And so I asked for time to think about it, and after a day or two of reflecting, my thought I kept coming back to was, if this is something that will help one student, it's worth it. So I told her I would, and then she and myself, Mrs. Ulrich, went through the trainings to become qualified Hope Squad advisors. We meet every other week in my classroom, and I teach the lessons. Mrs. Ulrich leads the activities. We meet with Mrs. Boswell every week to talk about what we're going to be doing, and then the kids really take it from there.
My name is Veda Bipond. I've been nominated to be in Hope Squad for the past 3 years, and I've accepted those nominations in order to help my peers. The Hope Squad acts as the eyes and ears of the school, providing a connection between struggling students and adults who cannot use assistance.
Hi, I'm Parker Simpson. I was nominated into Hope Squad to get people involved. Each year, Hope Squad has a motto. This year's motto was, "We hope you find hope with the Hope Squad. We can help any day. Hooray. You can do anything because you are not alone."
Hi, my name is Macy Freeman. I've been nominated for 3 years, and I love being able to help out with this Hope Squad program. Like Mr. Cresco said, we meet 2 times a month, and one of the main things that we focus on in our lessons is the Hope Approach. The Hope Approach is heads up, offer support, provide information, and empower peers. Modeling the Hope Approach can sometimes be difficult, having some hard and difficult conversations, but I know using these steps, it's way easier. And in the next slide, we have a couple pictures of the Hope Squad itself. This is us practicing some of these hard conversations using the Hope Approach.
Hi, my name is Lainey Miller. I've been nominated for Hope Squad for 3 years, and I've accepted those nominations to help us in need. And on this next slide, we did an activity called Web Connections, and we learned that we're really stronger together and supported by each other.
Each year we do Make the World a Better Place, where we give the students cookies, and in doing so, we make connections and bonds with them. When, at the beginning of the year, students were more hesitant to talk to us because they didn't know us or trust us. But once we had given them the cookies, they were more trustworthy for us.
Next, we have Cups of Kindness. We usually do this around Valentine's Day. We give the student body and staff cups of hot chocolate with kind, positive stickers on the cups. And along with this, we also do cutout cups, and we allow the student body to write kind or positive messages on the cups as well. And we hang these up on lockers. on day 4, we did Minecraft Kahoo and Spud. So with Minecraft Kahoo, I noticed that many students didn't have a device with them. So when they wouldn't, they would share with another student and they'd work together to get higher up on the leaderboard. And then with Spud, everybody shared the same common goal of trying to not get hit by the ball.
On our last day of Hope Week, we do Hope Floats, basically Hope Squad's version of root beer floats. And along with Hope Floats, that's a nice ending to the week. And I like that posters that we do have. Thank you to Mrs. Wingert who makes them. I have had my friends and other people personally come up to me and say, oh, I'm going to make sure I'm there on that day. I need to make sure that I get that root beer float. And I think that's something super cool to see, and I see a big amount of attendance that is risen during that week. I think it's a nice conclusion to the week. And speaking of conclusions, I'd like to conclude us. Thank you so much for letting us talk to you today, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening.
Fully separate for consideration on the consent agenda.
There was an addition, on the bill list.
What's that?
There was an additional, an additional check on the bill list that's in your packet. It was added today.
Okay. If that's it, go ahead. Entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second, anybody?
Second.
Okay. Voice vote when you're ready.
Lower,
Yes.
Munson,
Yes.
Nelson. Yes. Frick,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
We had a finance committee last night. I don't know if one of you guys want to.
Not much to add, other than I noticed that we put the wrong date in the next meeting on there, it should be 17th of February, which is Tuesday, the President's Day. Thanks, Dan, for catching up.
We get lots of those FOIA requests.
Any questions on
We don't have any.
next,
They should be in here.
right. Okay, you want to talk to us about locating district office?
Yeah, in 2022, I believe it was, we decided to move over from this building to the Joy Ag building. It's worked out very well. It's spacious, plenty of room for storage, plenty of room for the staff. The air conditioning and the heat work, and so there are really no complaints. However, we know that the preschool program is going to vacate the Joy building this summer, and that will leave the building just about empty. We'll have Jody O'Leary there, and that's about it. So we started thinking, well, we want to go across the parking lot. The internet connection is better over in the main building. We have it, the internet signal is beamed over to the ag building, and so sometimes that can be spotty. For the most part, it's pretty good. And so then we just ran with it after that. And so you have a map there at your desk that kind of shows where we envision people being. So we basically would take over the old office, where the staff was for the preschool program. Before that, the junior high. And of course, Leanne's the district office secretary, so she would have that front area that people would first come in. And then the principal's office would be the superintendent's office. And then the old counselor's office where Karen Jones had her spot for many years. that would be Steph Carey and Jennifer Moore. And then next to that, there's not a door to get in there from the office area, but you have to go out to the hallway, go around. But the old computer lab over there at Joy Building, I don't know if you remember that, but that would be for Becky McPeak, special ed coordinator, and Jody O'Leary. And Jody has several hats she wears. She's the transportation secretary, the pre-K secretary, and she also does our student information system, we call it SIS. So she would be in there, and then there'd probably be a lot of room for special ed documents to be stored and whatnot. And then, because the preschool programs are going to New Boston and Apollo, that's going to displace Jeff Long, the technology director. So I called him to see if he had any interest in going over to that Joy building, and he thought that would be fine, it's whatever we need. And so we thought he would do well in the old band room. But then we had another idea. We thought, well, you know, we still have a preschool room that's not going to be used. It's air conditioned and it's also heated. And so we thought, just as you come in the west door, right off to your left is a large room. It used to be the choir room years ago. And so that could be the new board room, so that we wouldn't have to tear down this room and set up this room every month. And that room could just stay up in the board condition, you know, with these tables, you know, year round. And we could also have other staff meetings there, you know, in between the board meetings during the day. And plus it's easy access from the parking lot. You know, you don't have to walk down hallways, and you can just, right inside the door, has a bathroom nearby. And trying to think of anything else. It might save a little money, because then with the old ag building, you can't turn off the heat or electricity, because we have things there that are sensitive to heat, so we don't want them freezing. But we could take the temperature down to, you know, 50 degrees, 40 degrees, and then we wouldn't be using as much electricity, but then we would be using electricity over in the main building. But there'd probably be a little bit of a savings there, negligible. We could probably do all of the district storage in both buildings. We thought at first we'd just take over the stuff we access often, and then, you know, either just walk back over to the ag building for the stuff we hardly ever use, or bring it over eventually. We thought at first we wouldn't have to. So I thought, well, we'll bring it up at a board meeting. It's not something you necessarily have to vote on, but we would like consensus. So if you don't feel comfortable with that, then we won't do it, because it's not, you know, the end of the world. We're happy where we are. But it is something I think would probably be a better place for us. And I don't know, maybe just open it up for questions or maybe other comments that you have.
Do we still retain the savings from moving the preschool back? Because that was mostly transportation costs?
Yes, we're going to save quite a bit of money by having them back in the schools, and mainly the main cost savings will be transportation. Because right now we're paying Johanna's, it's about $138,000 a year to take Alito preschoolers over to Joy in the morning, and to bring them the afternoon set of Alito kids back over at the end of the day. And then there are two routes in the middle of the day. First they got to take them home, and then they have to turn around and pick up a new batch for the afternoon. If we eliminate just that for transportation, that would save us $138,000. And I couldn't believe it, because I thought it'd be far less than that. And so I actually got out the Johanna's bill, and it's actually itemized on there. So it was really something. And so yeah, I think it would save money definitely to get the preschool back in the buildings. I mean, are you guys okay with that idea?
Was everybody involved in this pretty well okay?
Yeah, everybody, I'd say, and I know Leanne, I mean, would you say everybody's actually excited about it? Yeah, excited about it.
That's a rare thing.
That's right. Okay. Well,
Excited in a good way.
Yes, in a good way. Yes.
Some people get excited in a bad way.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, well, that sounds good.
All right. I think I have enough direction for that.
These board agreements that are highlighted, evidently the changes are highlighted. Are we good?
Yeah, we talked about it last month, and so I guess if you're feeling okay about it, we can go ahead and adopt them as just new board agreements. And to refresh everyone's mind, the board met with a representative from the Illinois Association of School Boards, who came out and led the process to revisit these protocols, and so they came up with these changes, and so, you know, it's something to just make things a little more efficient, a little more organized. I guess we
Go ahead and take
adopt it.
action on it.
Yeah, we take action.
Okay. We can voice vote that, right? When do you,
There's no-
motion stuff first, but.
Yeah, yeah, no money involved, so we just do
Okay,
it.
so entertain a motion and
I'll move to adopt the board agreement.
Second.
and we can voice vote on that, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion passes 6-0. Approval of the FY '25 annual financial.
Okay, so this was a part of what we did last month, but we didn't have this document yet. The auditor hadn't gotten it to us yet. And so, so now we have the main, this is the actual annual financial reports, the thick one. But what you have is kind of like a summary or just another iteration of it. And so it basically is just all the financials, not only for this past year, but they also throw in a few from previous years. So it covers all of our grants. It covers just basically everything that deals with our finances. And it's an annual report that they give. And we actually have to submit this to the ROE, and then we're going to submit it to the state of Illinois. And it's on file there. And so when they run their stats, they're running their stats off of this document.
So ready to.
Yep, I'd say so.
Same way voice vote.
Yep.
Motion.
Well, yeah, but since it's money, I don't know if it is.
Okay.
Play it safe and just do it individually.
Roll call vote.
Yeah, roll call.
Okay. Well, we need a motion.
to approve the fiscal year 25 annual financial report.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call when you're ready.
Munson,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Frick,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Lower.
Yes.
Ready for school calendar?
Any exciting?
Oh, yes, I have two exciting things to talk about. The calendar that we're proposing basically just has two main changes from what we do this year. And the first one would be parent-teacher conferences. In the past, we've done Thursday, students come, early dismissal, staff does conferences all evening. Friday, students come, the early dismissal, staff stays late for conferences. Well, we'd like to change that to Wednesday, students come, early dismissal, staff stays late for conferences. Then on Thursday, the staff just comes. The students don't come on Thursday. They stay for 5 hours to have parent-teacher conferences. And then because they had 5 hours of student attendance on Wednesday, 5 hours of staff conferences Wednesday night, and 5 hours of parent-teacher conferences on Thursday, no one has to come to school on Friday, and yet it still counts. And so I called the state to make sure that was kosher and asked them to tell me how to code it on the official calendar, and they gave me that information. So if you're okay with that, they'd like to give that a try. Rockridge does this system currently. And then the second change would be to have spring break a week later, actually 2 weeks later. We usually have it at the end of third quarter. So this next year, the third quarter will be done on March 12th. And so usually that would start spring break. Instead, this time, we decided to give it a try where spring break would start the following Friday, which is Good Friday, and then it would be all of the following week. So instead of it being 5 days, it would be 6 consecutive days, which would allow families maybe to take a little longer vacation if they want. The weather would be a little bit milder at that time of year, 2 weeks later, so you might be able to get more things done in the yard or whatever. And but other than that, well, so the start of the school year would be on the 11th with 2 Teacher Institute days. Then there's something that they used to do every year, but now they haven't done it for quite a while, but they want to start. The ROE has a Staff Institute on October 9th. It's a Friday. And so, but you're only allowed 4 days for Teacher Institute. So we'd have 2 in August, 1 on October, and then one at the end of the year. And so we used to have, back this year, we've had a teacher institute on the first day back after Christmas. But they do have an allowance. Instead of calling it a teacher institute, you can call it a teacher in service. It's kind of silly how you have to have those ticky-tack names. But we can have one of those on that Friday still. So now instead of having 4 teacher days of professional development, we would have 5 in this next calendar. And the teachers did vote, I should back up, the teachers did vote on that conference idea and also the delayed spring break. And that information is in the cheat sheet that you'll find in your drive. And the last days of school would be, for the students, would be on the 19th of May, the staff would be Thursday the 20th. And the only other change that might come down is the state of Illinois has been in the practice the last 5 or 6 years of having a holiday on election day. They haven't voted on that yet. They're still in session. I don't know if they will, but if they do, we would just extend the school year 1 more day, which would still allow the teachers, as long as we didn't use emergency days, to be out on a Friday, so we wouldn't have to come back after Memorial Day. I don't know, do you have any questions on that? I encourage the staff that if they should try it this next year, and if they like those kind of changes, then when they make the next calendar, do 2 years worth of calendars so that people can make long-term plans, you know, so if they want to go on a missions trip or they want to go on a cruise, or if they need to schedule IEPs, you know, for the next year, that sort of thing, they'll be able to know long in advance what the calendar's going to be. So that's what I encourage them to do. I said, but wait until you live these 2 changes because you may not like them.
Have any questions?
Yeah, I think vote.
Yeah, have a second.
And yeah, you can just be a voice vote.
Motion for the calendar.
Move to approve the proposed school calendar for FY 27.
Second?
Motion and second, voice vote, all in favor of the proposed calendar, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say at the same time. Passes 6-0. Oh, I keep saying 6-0. Yeah, I forgot. Bill wasn't with us.
Okay. The last one, board policy, second reading.
Press policy.
The press policies, the Illinois Association of School Boards has a bevy of lawyers that go through school laws, new ones, you know, court cases that have changed, and they go through our policy manual. It's about this thick, and they go through the whole policy manual once every 5 years. So they just take a little chunk about every quarter. Well, this is the new quarter, and so this is the second reading. And you don't want to read all those policies because it's quite a lot of information. So I found the cliff notes on it, just a summary of the big changes. The first one is that it now requires administrators to immediately notify law enforcement of any report regarding a threat of gun violence on school grounds. It also mandates that notifying the parents if the threat originates from a student. And then one of the changes is it mandates drug and alcohol abuse prevention, abduction education, and CPR AED instruction at the high school level. So we want to train the kids. And a lot of this stuff already takes place, but they're wanting to make it an actual regulation. And then regarding cyberbullying and bullying, they're going to expand the definition to include unauthorized digital replicas, such as AI-generated deepfakes. So, taking a picture of Don and putting big muscles on him, that AI deepfake stuff. But they can do.
Taking the muscles off.
Yeah, they're taking your muscles off. And so, as you know, this could be done in a very hurtful and a very mean-spirited way, and so they want to include that in the definition of bullying. And then also regarding mental health awareness, now requires districts to provide student education on mental health and illness and includes suicide prevention, helpline information on employee ID cards, because before it had to be on student ID cards, but now they want them to be on the employee ID cards as well. Those were the major changes. The rest of them are changes in footnotes, changes in grammar, changes in clarity, You know, it's just stuff that, you know, you wouldn't be too interested in, so that's it. So we want to vote to adopt. And it's policy revision number 120.
And we have no choice.
Yeah, you have no choice, but we can pretend you do. Yeah, yeah, you can run on your own, but
We're
you'll.
just acknowledging that they made the changes and we realize they made the changes.
Yes, yes. And it's good to review it once in a while to hear the good information.
Make a motion to approve the press policies, flagging.
I'll second that. I'll second. It's like we got it.
You wanna ask us if we're in favor?
I'm gonna. All in, we're gonna have a voice vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes 5-0. And I lied to you the other times when I said 6-0. Maybe you heard it now.
Second.
6-0.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I've been a superintendent now for something like 19 years, and I've been waiting for the day that I vote, you know, when accidentally not paying attention when you say aye, that I'll say aye, but I'm still on 0.
Oh, that's good news.
So I just jinxed myself, but
Who wants to start with the administrative report?
I can.
Okay.
We ended December with our holiday concert. It was a cold, windy day, but parents and community members still came out. Kids sang 3 songs. They got to talk to Santa. We did some crafts and had some snacks. So it was a good night. And I wasn't here last month, so I just wanted to recognize the Sedoris, Unkin, and Marston families for the 2nd year in a row have donated meat bundles to the preschool, and we were able to gift those to 19 families this past year. So we just really appreciate the community support we have. So.
Excellent.
I'll go for the junior high real quick. I just want to take an opportunity to kind of give a shout out and thank you to our staff and advisors and students. They did a great job presenting Hope Squad. But like the pictures and just like what it is in our building and in practice, like they're showing a lot of the really good pictures and kids seeing kids doing really positive community type things in our building. On the back end though, I can tell you like junior high, sometimes kids go through rough stages and phases to where they definitely know that they have people connected that they can reach out to, talk to, and know that they're getting in touch with the right people. Where I've sat in a lot of meetings with Mrs. Boswell with some tough situations that Hope Squad has stepped in to really like bring that to the forefront and really champion and help some kids in a really positive way. So they create that huge positive community in our building that kids see in the fun activities, but they also turn and help us get the resources in place to help kids in need. So I can't thank them enough for them and Mrs. Boswell bringing that to our building 3 years ago, because all student organizations are good, like we have student senate and different things, but that's just another avenue. So huge shout out to them.
So high school wise, we are, well, right when he got back from break, we had our freshmen and sophomores, and then our juniors and seniors. So we had separate meetings of advisory to kind of go over, reiterate some of our policies and rules and expectations. I felt like the students just needed a reminder, so that's what we did with that first week. We finished our winter benchmarking for our second round of STARS with our students. Our class registrations are going to be starting here at the end of January for next year. The 5 essentials, you guys haven't, I'm not sure if we talked about that in here, but it looks like that won't be coming out until the first or second week in February. And so that'll be being pushed out to students and parents and community members to get their input. As you guys are probably aware of that, it's something in the past. I know last year it was kind of pushed out this time of year, but apparently this year they're bumping that back a couple weeks. Overall, sports-wise, basketball's varsity playing pretty well. Trying to get through some sicknesses. It is that time of the year, of course. Girls basketball is also 18-5. Wrestling wise, Eli Burns happened to become, well, please vote for him this week. He was nominated as for the Athlete of the Week for the KWQC. So that voting goes, I believe it might be either today or tomorrow in regards to getting that done. But yeah, we've got postseason play happening, of course, about the same time as the next board meeting. So other than that, it's been a fun beginning of this discussion. Thank you.
My turn.
Yeah.
At Apollo, Mr. Robertson was gifted his whole family tickets to the Illinois game tonight. So they drove down to Champaign to see the Illinois game. So I was checking the score. They were losing earlier. Nobody snickered. So that's where he is tonight. So I'm happy to be here with you. Our Kindness Club has started back up. They've had one of their first meetings last week. They're just got so many plans. Mrs. Norton's like, well, I don't want to spoil it. But she's got lots of things in the works for the spring for our Kindness Club. Our PTO had the daunting task of, I thought they were crazy, of filling a stocking full of everything. Toys, candy, gloves, hats, all the things that were super cool, and we handed one out to every single student at Apollo. It was fantastic. It was a big task, but it was really, really, really well received. Kids loved it. Let's see. We have, between December and yesterday, are on our 12th new student. So I'm not sure what's going on, but we have 12 new students at Apollo just since the middle of December. So I'm not real sure where all the housing is or what's happening, but they've been great additions to our building so far. We're really enjoying our newbies. Otherwise, we had a few leaks in the gym when it poured rain the one day, just a couple of little spots. I think Doug was well taking care of that. That kind of shocked us a little bit. Otherwise, everything is kicking off pretty fabulous to start our last semester. So stay tuned. Okay.
So is anyone going to share with us? Would you like to do that?
Sure. Ms. McCann emailed us just shortly before the meeting with her updates that she wanted to celebrate. She said the winter benchmark assessment scores are in. Boston Elementary's got a lot to celebrate. 53% of the students are at or above benchmark for ELA in the fall. 19% of the students are above the state benchmark. Only 18% falling below. 59% of students are at or above benchmark in winter for ELA, with 23% of students being above the state benchmark and only 13% below. 35% of students at or above benchmark in the fall in math, with 3% above the state benchmark. 39% at or above for the winter in math, with 5% above the benchmark. They look at the Boston Elementary School scores compared to the rest of the district. All but 19% of the students were at or above for ELA and math. Which means that the ELA scores are higher because they have the same research-based curriculum for students in K-5, while in math they don't have K-5 aligned research-based curriculum. Kindergarten to first grade using teacher or district grade provided resources. She commented that she knows there's been some discussion regarding the curriculum being too advanced for students, but scores from Boston Elementary clearly show that one curriculum is taught with fidelity, and teachers believe in students' ability to meet high standards. The students rise to the occasion and not only meet but surpass the benchmark goals.
Yes, it does.
Motion for the closed session.
I'll note to look into that. I'm going to move into closed session.
Move to second.
I move.
You gotta do a roll
Roll
call.
call.
Roll call.
Nelson.
Yes.
Frank.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Lower,
Yes.
Munson,
Yes.
Like a 5-minute break or something? 10, 10.
35, let's go with 7:35.